Migrant for Migrant is a multimedia project initiated by Multicultural Council of Northern Territory with a seed funding from Auda Foundation for an interactive multimedia website with audio and video information for culturally and linguistically diverse communities of the Northern Territory. Migrant for Migrant will provide free service for CAL communities to share their views and news about the life in Northern Territory with family, friends and diaspora interstate and overseas. MCNT has selected 10 different community organizations for this mini documentary production.
And among them today we have selected Australian Japanese Association of NT for this episode.
Yes, thank you Nitesh. My name is Kathleen Bresnan. I'm the President of the Australian Japanese Association of the Northern Territory. Our association started in 1989 in Darwin, and it was to foster friendship and unity between Australian people and Japanese residents living in the Northern Territory. Also to showcase the cultural events and the basic culture of Japan and Japanese people. Kyosai is a Japanese word, and that means living in cooperation with other people in the world. So that's one of the kind of keywords that we go by to express the cohesion within our association. The main vision of our association is to foster unity between all different people, but obviously highlighting and showcasing Japanese culture. We act as an official kind of conduit between the Japanese Embassy in Canberra and the Consulate in Sydney, and also between, there's an honorary consulate here in Darwin, James Pasquale. So it's basically about creating, yes, connections and interconnections between all these groups, and also to create better understanding and friendship, mainly understanding of Japanese people and the country and events that are happening there and events that are happening here. Some of the objectives are to foster contact for members, between members with each other, and also when new arrivals come from Japan, to reach out to them as a contact to lessen kind of the homesickness and loneliness that they might feel as well. Also to be contact for Japanese tourists when they're coming into the Northern Territory, if they need any assistance or comradeship with Japanese people or Japanese speaking people, or just people to help them with questions that they might have about travelling or working in the Northern Territory. A lot of backpackers come here and are working here, so that's one of the things that may be assistance of. And also as a means of contact for support of members when they're in times of difficulty or crisis, to kind of band together and help each other that way. I am the President of the Australian Japanese Association of Northern Territory. My name is Kathleen Bresnan. The Assistant Vice President, her name is Sachi Hirayama. The Treasurer is Banuago Pramadito. The Secretary is Chia Churcher. The Assistant Secretary is Ben Creswick. The Promotions Officer is Asako Kobayashi, and I'm also the Public Officer.
The population of Japanese in Northern Territory is not that big, so half of the members are non-Japanese.
Yes, there's approximately 60 members currently on our books. About half of those are non-Japanese people. So we have, for example, Australian, Indonesian, Korean, Indian, from all different nationalities. because the objective of our association is to create unity and harmony, friendship ties. Yes, the election process once a year at the annual AGM, 2 people are nominating somebody for the position, and then it is written in writing, and we usually need a unanimous vote, and that's how the last election was proceeded. Yeah. Yes, the AGNT are very active within the Darwin community. One thing they have every year, once a year around November, is the Japanese Cultural Day. These have been held at various venues across Darwin. Last time we were lucky to get the Darwin Languages School, which was a very large venue. There we highlight a lot of different aspects of Japanese culture, for example, wearing of the yukata and happy coat, for example, to dress like a Japanese person.
Today we gathered to learn how to wear yukata. Yukata is a Japanese summer dress, and it's not unlike Western clothes. We need a little bit of technique to wear, and today we had a teacher. Her name is Kyoko, and she taught us how to wear yukata.
Demonstration and participation in origami, calligraphy writing, presentation of sometimes musical, for example, the drumming events, or sometimes some Japanese dance. Some little things for kids like fishing with the yo-yos or something like this. Always there's Japanese food being cooked to give to the people that come along, and that's a very big day for the community. Also, every June is the Harmony Day soiree. AGNT are involved in that and have a stall. This year we'll be having a stall there on 1st of June at Harmony Day soiree.
In Japan, when somebody is seriously injured or sickness, we make 1,000 paper cranes wishing for recovery. So that's what we are making. Is the thing that we are making paper cranes.
Japanese Film Festival, that comes once a year too. Last year we had just 3 films, but this year we'll be getting 10 films to be shown for that one. So that's a travelling Japanese film festival that travels around Australia. So last year it was very successful, so we're happy for that. This year they're starting up a Darwin anime club with the manga anime cartoon, and that will be coming under the umbrella of the AGNT as well. Also this year we've just started a Japanese radio slot on Darwin Extreme Radio, so that is on Sunday 10 AM every Sunday morning. So that's mainly aiming to people, because you can hear it on the internet in Japan, to encourage them maybe for tourism or just to keep them updated what's happening in Darwin, in the Northern Territory, but also for local people. But because it's a Japanese spoken radio show, mainly, of course, people that can understand Japanese. And one other thing coming in February this year, February the 19th, is Okinawa drumming. So they're drummers coming from Okinawa, the southernmost island of Japan, and they're coming and doing a free concert at the Darwin Entertainment Centre.
Today we are going to attend the bombing of Darwin tour in the bus, and the reason we are attending the tour is, as a Japanese living in Australia and especially in Darwin, it's important for us to know the history, even though it is a sad story, and so that we can understand each other and we can have a mutual trust and establish a much more good relationship.
I have the bombing of Darwin tour relating to the Japanese bombings in between 1942 and 1943, and what we do is we go around to all the relevant sites around Darwin related to the bombings. There's a lot of relics and sites, and I've also got the stories, and I like to what do I say? I bring them back to life with the stories and the names. And basically, first of all, we go down to the wharf, Stokes Hill Wharf, and point out to the direction the Japanese planes came in the first wave. They flew in over the harbour from the opposite direction that we were thinking, and we visualised that. And you know, we talk about the stories of what happened on the wharf, and then we drive up to outside Government House, and we look at the plaque there and describe more of how the Japanese came in out from the aircraft carriers. Then we drive along the esplanade and up to Myeli Point, and that's where the heritage houses are up there. There's bullet holes in the fence, the original fence. There's bullet holes from the Japanese Zeros, and we point those out. And then we drive from there all the way out to East Point to the anti-submarine boom nets, and the original cable is still there, the anchor point, and not one Japanese submarine got into the harbour. It was a very big effort on our side of things to build this thing, and from there we go to the museum, and there's a lot of history at the museum, and from there we're on the way back and we look at an anti-aircraft gun site that was here, which is still there, and of course back home. So we go to all the sites around town, including the stories.
The Japanese members of AGNT in Darwin are mixed between business people, people with professional employment, Japanese people married to Australians, people on working holidays, and skilled migrants. We in the AGNT wish to foster unity and friendship between all the multicultural groups within Darwin, and we wish to be representative of Japanese events and culture here within the Northern Territory. We encourage people to join our group or just to come to events run by the AGNT, and we also encourage people to visit Japan and to come back and tell us what their experiences are. Yes, Nitesh, I would especially like to thank, on behalf of the AGNT, yourself and Migrant for Migrant through the MCNT. You've been doing a very great project for the communities, multicultural communities within Darwin and the Northern Territory, and the AGNT commend you and all the people assisting you with this project. Thank you so much. Domo arigato.
Thank you very much for watching our show. We would like to request for your suggestions and comments to enhance our program. Please keep on logging to www.migrantformigrant.org.au.